As a man, have you ever felt like anger was dominating your life? You didn't know why, but you couldn't stop being angry. Well, maybe you're not broken. Maybe there's not something wrong with you. Maybe there's actually something wrong with your life. I was speaking with some inmates in a prison last week, and I was talking about anger. And as I talked about it, the room was silent, and their focus, their eyes was locked into what I was talking about, because it was helping them understand their life. As you see, many of those men are in that prison because of what they have done out of anger. But many men fail to understand what was really happening with anger. Oftentimes, the man who's angry is seen as a bad man. He's a dangerous man. He's a scary man. Get away from that man. And the man himself, when he's angry, thinks, man, what's wrong with me? Why am I always angry? I don't like being angry. People don't like me when I'm angry. But what do I do with my anger? We oftentimes tell men, don't be angry. What we rarely do is ask the man, why are you angry? As men, I think it's hard for us to express our hearts. Anger is something that boils up on the inside of us, and eventually when we can't hold it in anymore, it comes out in some kind of outburst. But the reason it just kind of sits in our heart to begin with is because we struggle to express our hearts with words. The truth is, if people gave men an opportunity to express their hearts and express their frustrations, a lot of men have a reason to be angry. But oftentimes, that reason for anger is never talked about. The anger gets all the attention, and we kind of cast men to the curb, or we lock them away in a place of judgment because you're an angry man and that's bad. But inside of an angry man, maybe there's a reason for the anger that actually needs attention. Let's look at anger in a different way. What if anger is something inside of the heart of a man that's causing enough turmoil to get his attention that something in his life needs to have a pivot? Think about things like hunger. We all know that hunger is alerting us that we need something to eat. We all understand thirst. It's reminding us we need something more to drink. Well, what if anger down here begins with this? It's a warning light. It's not a bad thing. What if it's a warning light saying, hey, there's something over here in your life or something over there that needs some attention. It needs to be changed. What if avoiding those warning lights is what causes the anger to build over the course of time? We as men love to fix things. Give us a physical object that's broken and we rally. We go grab our tools, and if we don't have enough, we go buy another one. We love to go fix things. I think men would love to fix matters of the heart if we would just learn what the matters of the heart are. If we could learn how to put words to what's going on the inside of us, I think men are ready to step forward and to help in every way. But because we don't know how to use words to describe the turmoil inside of us, we end up sitting back quietly, and that anger, that turmoil just churns away on the inside of us, and at some point it comes out in some ugly way. And then all the attention goes to the angry outburst, and we tend to ignore what was the seed of the anger. So why are men angry? I want to list 5 things that I have noticed. Number 1, men get angry when they feel unappreciated for the hard work that they do. Many men really like to work hard. It's satisfying to them. If they can go to work and help people and build something or break something to build something, there's a satisfaction in that. And they want to earn money and provide for their family. But if they're not appreciated for doing that hard work, if they're taken for granted for the amount of hard labor they do, there is an anger that builds on the inside of them. Number 2, men do not know what to do when they're disrespected inside of their own home. Disrespect inside of their own home causes an anger to boil on the inside of a man. It feels really strange to walk inside of your own home and be treated like an enemy or to be treated like a child. And as a man, you don't want to walk into your home to protect yourself. You don't want to walk into your own home to try to convince people of your value. There's enough of that happens in a man's work life where he has to try to prove himself and maybe climb the corporate ladder. When he goes inside the doors of his own house, he wants to be able to walk in and just be a man and be respected. But if he's disrespected inside of his own home, he may not say anything, but deep in his heart, there is an inferno that's building. Number 3, men get angry when they feel like they have no say in the raising of their own kids. When a baby is born, most men are kind of like shell-shocked, like, I'm glad we have a baby, but I have no idea what to do with it. Moms, thankfully, have so much natural ability and instincts. Although raising a child is hard for everyone, moms have a lot more capabilities and certainly a bigger role when it comes to like breastfeeding a child. And as a father, when the child's a baby, you feel kind of powerless. Well, sometimes over the course of time, what happens in a marriage is mom is seen as the parent, and the dad should just go provide money. And when he comes home, he's not respected as a parent. And so he feels like, well, I just come provide, but my opinions don't matter with the kids. Well, when a man lives in a house and his opinion doesn't matter in the raising of his own kids, you better believe it, on the inside of him, anger is building. Number 4, if the man feels like he has no say in how money is spent in his own household, anger is going to build. This might happen, let's say you have a marriage where the mom, the wife stays home with the kids, which is great. If she works, that's great. But let's say he works outside of the home, provides the income, and the money just goes and goes and goes, and it goes to so many things. And although he's happy to provide, he'd like to be able to say, I don't think we can afford that. We want to buy a bigger house, but that's just putting more pressure on me to work. A man wants to be able to have a say in how money is spent inside of his own household. Number 5, men get angry when we are frustrated for long periods of time, but don't know why. That frustration just builds. It just turns away on the inside of us. And when we don't know how to express it, we just keep living in it and living in it and living in it. And we can't put our finger on why we feel that thing on the inside of us. And so it causes this tension. It's one reason why we wrote the book In the Game. Me and 36 other men wrote this book to help men be able to kind of understand what's going on in their life, because all of us men can relate to maybe being a boy that we grew up playing baseball or football, and we have this great game we're playing, and we have teammates, and we've got coaches, and it's great, and it's adventurous and meaningful. And then you become a man, and it's like, where's my game? Where's my teammates? And who's going to mentor me through these decisions I'm making in life? And it's all gone. So we wrote this book called In the Game to help men get a glimpse of maybe why they're frustrated, why they're empty, why they're angry. So what does a man do when he's angry? He needs to find friends to be able to talk through the tension inside of him. He needs to be able to kind of just almost vomit it out. He just needs to put words to the feelings that he has. He doesn't really need to be psychoanalyzed. He probably doesn't need therapy. He doesn't need anger management. He probably needs life understanding. Look, men love to fix things. And although we're very good at fixing material things, we as men struggle with the internal things, the invisible things. But if men come to understand the internal or invisible things, then you'll find that men are ready to step forward and help bring change. Man needs a space with people where he can just express his heart. He needs to be able to talk about the tensions he has in his life in a really a raw and a real and even manly way. He doesn't necessarily need anger management. He probably needs more understanding about his life. He needs to be able to communicate with some other dudes in his life, probably, in the same kind of way he might talk about a car that's not working. He can talk about his life that's not working. He can talk about his marriage that's not working. Or he needs to be able to talk about his kids and frustrations he has there. If a man has a space to be able to unpack the stuff that's going on inside of him, you'll find that the man is actually pretty good at coming up with some solutions. And certainly most men would like to step forward and be able to help. But oftentimes when it comes to the relational things or the internal things, we kind of look at men as, well, you just don't understand. You don't get it. And I think what we do is we cause men to be backed into a corner and treated like, well, you can't figure out this stuff. You're not smart enough for it. And the truth is, men are far more intuitive than we give them credit for. We're far more intuitive than we give ourselves credit for. And that's why men have to find a place. They have to find people where they are accepted, where they belong, where they can speak their heart. They can talk about the tensions of their life. And at the same time, they're not looked down on. They're not looked at as being some kind of mistake. They're not looked at like, well, you're broken. You're an angry man. You're a broken man. No, the angry man is probably conflicted. He's probably frustrated. He might be confused. But his anger deep down might begin with something that actually he needs to do something about with his life. But someone needs to help him get down to what's going on underneath that anger. Because what's making him angry maybe should make him angry, but instead of responding in anger, maybe he needs to do something out of love instead. And if somebody will help a man unpack his anger, men will step up and they will lovingly help to fix anything that's broken in their life, whether it's physical or the immaterial. Thank you for sharing part of your life with mine by listening to this. If you're interested in the book that I mentioned, it's available on Amazon. It's called In the Game. It's a book by Mark Delaney and 36 of my friends helping men to get off the sidelines and get back into the game. Thanks again for watching.